This is a safety video for our 10-inch Dewalt miter box. Remember, when we're talking about safety, there's nothing more important than these for safety glasses. Please wear them when using any power tools. Right now, this saw is locked. There's a pin right over here that will allow you to release this. I can't pull it out unless I put a little pressure downward on the saw, and then the pin comes out and the saw lifts up. You notice that the guard slides out of the way as I raise and lower the saw. The teeth of the saw spin in this direction, so your work has to be on the table flat and up against the miter fence. We have an extension on this saw, so we can have work that protrudes out past it. If I wanted to, I could put a stop on this thing and have it make repeatable cuts. The stop can be used in either direction. It can be used on this side of the saw or on the fence like so. I just need to make 1 or 2 cuts. I just measure and mark. I'll measure out where I want to cut this, say 34 inches. I mark it at 34 and put an X on the waist side of the work. I want a clean work surface. If there's anything engaging the work, it won't go flat up against the fence, and that could lead to trouble. This can do 2 bevels. We can adjust this, and there are a bunch of slots. You can see I lift up on this lever, and I can move it. You can lock in right at 90 degrees, 15 degrees, 22 and a half, 30, 45. In addition, the head can bevel to the left. When we do that, we have to release the fence. There's a nut here. Loosen that, and I can pull the fence out of the way. The saw does not know where the fence is. If you're not careful, you can cut into the fence. So I'll lock the fence in place. There's a large 3-legged hand wheel in the back. If I loosen that hand wheel, I can then tip to get whatever degree I want, and then I can lock it in, and it will make a cut. And it can make a compound cut because this can be angled, and creating a compound angle. I'm going to set it back to 90 degrees this way and in both directions. So 90 degrees in this direction, 90 degrees in this direction. So 90 and 90 before I begin. If you adjust the saw, please leave it square when you leave it. I want to cut to this side of this mark, so I'm going to get up and get close to this so that this side of the blade is right on my mark. My work has to be down and back against this fence. I don't like to get my hand within about 6 inches of the blade, so I'm always over here. This is how I would cut if I'm right-handed. All I have to do is squeeze the trigger. And again, I've split my line, so I've made the cut where I wanted it. There'll be a little bit of tear out on the back end. The faster you cut, the more tear out there'll be. The slower you cut, the cleaner the cut you get. This is a fairly clean cut. Just a little bit of tear out on the back side. If you need to do a cut without tear out, you can clamp an additional sacrificial fence to this, say like so that your work is against that fence and you'll get less tear out. When we're done, scrap can go under here, little pieces can go in the scrap bin, and we'll leave the saw in a safe condition. This concludes our safety video for the Dewalt 10-inch chop saw.